What? I'm on the
What?
internet.
What
How
the?
does that happen?
No,
We are back.
do it.
And I'm not sick. Sorry, people, I had to cancel
Yay!
February.
Hooray.
So we are kicking off again. And yes, it may be March, but that's okay. Welcome back to Hallowed Penumbra for this year. Our characters have undergone some changes, and I'm sure there are more changes to come. I will get our wonderful players to introduce themselves and who they're playing, and then I'm going to have them undertake a little bit of a reflective exercise, which the chat can benefit from as well. Don't look at me like that, Bionic. I warned you all that this was coming.
I've just done my annual performance reviews. Do I really have to be reflective again?
I literally had mine today. This is my worst nightmare.
This is really sounding like team building, and I'm not about it.
I am the one who usually makes people do team building activities at work.
We would not get along at work.
I make them fun. It's fun, but mandatory.
That's what they all say.
It's fun,
Yeah.
but mandatory.
What happens when you run workshops?
Well, I mean, technically this isn't mandatory, but it could be a very short first half of the session if you don't participate.
Fair. I'm a team player.
Okay. Are we doing rollies, or am I just throwing people under the bus for who's going to introduce themselves first?
Rollies.
Rolling.
Rollies? Okay, highest goes first.
Oh no, I don't have a dice. What are we rolling? Just so I'm not like rolling a d4.
Roll the percentiles. Delightful. I rolled a 47.
Got a 35.
Promethean rolled 2, so maybe he'll have to do it.
93!
81, thank God.
Okay, Shadow Me, you're up first. Tell us who you are
Yay!
and who you're playing, and
I
where we
felt
can
that.
find you other than here, because I'm sure there's other places.
Sometimes there is. Sorry, I was killing a bug. I'm Shadowmere or Cass, and tonight I am playing Evie Ward, who is a little dinged up from previous events, and is a little bit scared of the dark now, I think. But otherwise, if I'm not here, I'm over on Meeples and Dragons every other Saturday, so that's like fortnightly. Next session is not this weekend, but the next weekend, where I play Galahad Deedle, the handsome and delightful guy. He's pretty cool. Everyone loves him.
He's a bro.
He's a hot boy summer.
He is. He's having his hot boy summer and he's loving it.
Okay.
Do I get to pick who goes next, or is it dice rolls?
None of them are answering, so
I'm going to pick.
Oh no!
I'm going to pick who's going next. Andy.
That's me. My name is Andy, or Andy SPG on the internet, and tonight I'm going to be playing Finley Robertson, who is just a kind of grumpy middle-aged guy who is sad that prohibition is a thing and he can no longer run a pub. So he's yet to go insane, but he's still upset about it. And you might see me in other places on the internet other than here, but I'm loving it here right now. And when I'm not here, I'm existing in the existential dread that is the real world. So I will pass it over to the person who is on this side of me in our little call, which is Pickles.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pickles. I'm playing Eliza Elworth, British expat in Boston. Also a little dinged up from the events of last episode. Not afraid of the dark, definitely not okay with blood now, thanks to previous events to the last session. You will find me here. You'll also find me over on Jack Squarepeg's channel, where we are playing Traveller, space sci-fi fun. We fucked up and got into prison again, so that was hilarious. Yeah, and still hoping not to die. The insanity part's going to happen. Just hoping not to die. I will throw over to Katrina.
Hey, Katrina. I'm playing Bonnie Doyle tonight. I wasn't present for the last session, and so I'm just going to assume I fared pretty well. I don't have any dings. I'm mentally stable, I think.
Yep.
It was a win-win for me, not being present. But do I have any things going on? Ballarat Heritage Festival is coming up again, so hopefully I'll be a part of that. Yeah, that's the only thing I've got at the moment.
So, as I said,
Sorry, hang on. You didn't introduce yourself?
As Bonnie Doyle.
No, Talera.
Oh,
Did you
do I
didn't do
need an
your
introduction?
did.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we demand.
Do.
We demand you
Excuse
introduce
me?
yourself.
Talera 79, I will be your keeper this evening, which means that I get to play everyone else besides our 4 lovely PC characters, including the things that go bump or slurp in the night.
Schlep.
Love.
That's right. Sound effects will come, except that half of them get gated, so that's why I don't do half the sound effects anymore. That's all right. We're going on to some out of character questions to help you reflect on the journey that your characters have had and where to from here. And so what I will do is I will pose a question, and then each of you will have a chance to answer it. And feel free to discuss things with each other as well. Okay. First question. What was your character's view on the supernatural, or lack thereof, coming into this game?
Ooh,
Mm.
that is a good
It's-
question.
It's a great question, isn't it?
Hmm. I feel like just with Finley, he grew up in a place where there is folk tales and kind of all that folklore around things in the moors and stuff like that. So he's been aware of folklore, and he's kind of the person that's kind of shrugged it off. He's like, I don't really believe in all that. He's just a bit rough and like, oh, you're just seeing things because you're scared of the dark, and kind of trying to take that mindset into everything that's going on. It's kind of messing with him a little bit, but he's not broken yet. But coming into this, he's just like, stop being silly. There's nothing to be scared of.
And when we told Finley about the big spider lady that we saw,
Oh.
how does he react to that with that mindset?
And the spider babies.
Yeah, and
Mm.
oh yes, the screaming spider babies.
Mm.
Thank you for that mental image again.
Yep.
That's, I mean, that's a good question. I'll have to think about that one a little bit more.
Well, I mean, there is a question coming up with things to do with since the game started. So hold on to that thought. Who else would like to talk about their character's viewpoint before commencing the game?
I think in Eliza's case, I think in a slightly similar way to Finley, while she did very heavily involved in the research, it was sort of a little bit more academic in a way in terms of her experience. Like, she knew it was a thing because of her connection to the Miskatonic library, but her actual experience of it was quite limited. So yeah, sort of knew it was there, but it was all very conceptual, and so the physical experience of things like later when she gets home would just be like, okay, so that's a thing that happened, right? um so yeah, I think while the stiff upper lip sort of thing because British, uh and the time period, but yeah, like coming to grips with the things that she's read about and heard about and things like that, them being real, is I think still something that she's been coming to grips with her experiences with the group. Who's next?
I'll go. So I think for Evie, she's always kind of had that, like the things that are unexplainable. She knows there's obviously things that are unexplainable, and she has always felt potentially that there's something else. But given the things that have been witnessed, slightly more, I guess, nefarious than, like, oh, well, maybe it's, like my ancestors and all of that sort of stuff. It's not as nice as potentially she thought things could be.
Yeah, like it
So
might be one thing going to a seance,
yeah,
being all the rage at the
Mm.
time, or
yeah,
like seeing a spiritualist, yeah, or
yeah.
someone uh, projecting ectoplasm out of various bits of their body, which was a thing that happened and is really interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
That
So
would be
yeah, I
me.
guess it's just all the scary stuff that maybe is making her a little bit more scared than she once was, potentially.
Yeah. I think Bonnie started things very skeptically. I think she still wants to be skeptical. She doesn't believe it, but there's probably a few things that she can't explain away.
Well, we will get to those. I
Yeah.
will ask specifically about some of those for each of your character in a later question.
So I think she, yeah, that might be a reason why maybe she doesn't connect with some of the characters, because she's really quite firm in her beliefs. But yeah, they've encountered a few things that have happened, and she's telling herself, okay, that has happened, but there has to be another smoke and mirrors reason for it. But she still is a non-believer, I think.
Of the scenarios that you have played to date, which one impacted your character the most, but how did it impact them and why?
So let's recap the two scenarios, yeah? So there's spider scenario
You had spider scenario, you had the body in the morgue,
and
Mhm.
the morgue one. Oh my
and you
God.
had
Yeah.
the first one, which was the stolen item for the Idol of Thoth.
That's right.
Yeah.
For Evie, it was the wiggly torso.
Oh, yeah.
That really fucked her up.
Mm.
That was confronting. Um, I don't think there's necessarily any way that you can explain that away other than it was something other. Um, and yeah, well, I think as a result of that one, she is terrified of the dark. I think I think that's the first one she actually got a really good ding um, to her mental fortitude, I'll say.
Mm. I think Finley's probably exactly the same. The things in the first one, you can put it down to, oh, they're just kind of this mass hysteria cult kind of thing. And, some people are very persuasive, and maybe this person was not as stable as you thought they were. And, they've got all this research, but look at them, so still weak-willed. He's like that chip on his shoulder about education because he never went. So he's like, you're just all caught up in your books too much. That's not how it all works, really, I promise. But yeah, that morgue one, he's tried to smash his way and like destroy evidence of things existing so he doesn't have to think about it. And I think coming into the third scenario, he's had that kind of in the back of his mind, and he's not wanted to believe it. It's like, oh, it's more of this culty stuff going on. People just kind of making each other believe things and feeding into this mass hysteria. And Finley hasn't actually laid eyes on all the crazy spider lady stuff as of yet. So right now his brain is just gonna still believe that there's no way that you saw that. There's probably just some wildlife you've never experienced before that looked very hairy and leggy.
Hairy and leggy, Jesus.
I feel like Eliza's going to take offense to that. I'm an educated woman, damn it. Oh.
That's one way to describe your date.
Well, you guys were going to pimp Finn out to her, so
That's true. But we had full consent from Andy, so it was fine.
I think that first one in the museum, I think that was a very explainable, or it could be explainable, scenario. And the morgue, the bodies in the morgue one, that is something that is absolutely not explainable. And we didn't have a resolution from that one, did we? Our bits and pieces, we had to leave because we were about to die. But I feel like the longer the time is between those scenarios, that event or those events that happened, the more likely I think Bonnie is to find explanations for that, as opposed to if it happened yesterday or 4 months ago. Do we have a timeline? What is our timeline for these events?
So because each of your characters, or three of your characters, had to take time healing both physically and mentally, you've done approximately 2 months.
It's not enough, is it? 3 major events happening in 2 months. That's bound to have an impact, and probably makes, I would say, not just Bonnie's character, but all the characters a little more erratic, maybe.
It's like, I feel yeah, erratic is the perfect word, because I think as soon as Finley saw the head talking in the phone, it's just like, it just start swinging. And it didn't have time to think. He's just like, oh God, get rid of whatever this is in front of me. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. Yep.
I have to say, for that scenario, my favorite moment was watching everyone's faces when I described the person who was being suffocated by the viscera. It's like he thinks you're there to save him, and you can see the hope in his eyes, and you realize that by striking it, you're also hurting him.
Oh God.
And everyone was just like,
That was rough.
You know what? I'd actually forgotten that, so I might have to take some sanity points off. Oh, I got this.
I'll repost the picture that I drew of that in the chat.
That was yes. For those who don't know, Piggle sits there and does almost like fan art. That was very interesting. That was a very interesting one. Yes.
Yes. It does help me remember stuff that goes on.
But Piggles, which scenario stuck with yours?
I think it was definitely Eliza's first one, which was the morgue, being that's where she got her first very serious hit of sanity, and now has the lovely blood phobia, which
Yep.
totally going to come back and haunt her at some point, and nearly did a few times, I think, in the last session too. Yeah, I think because that was probably her first, like, very visceral is the very fair word to use for the situation that we were in, whereas before, like, while she had been called in to consult on things before, it wasn't as active as this. It was more similar to, like, the first scene where she's coming in afterwards and in doing a little bit of investigation, then she goes back to the library and consults her books and would submit a report or advice or something like that. So yeah, so this was probably really one of the first times where she's been very, very involved, and it was a lot from all the wiggly rib cage. Yep, that we tried to burn.
Well, because Eliza had the worst of it, because Eliza actually almost died physically, as well as suffering the mental injuries.
Yep.
And if not for a first aid role, that was very
that would have been Eliza gone.
Would have been screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think I did say in one of the early sessions that I'm here for a good time, not a long time, potentially, and kind of jinx myself that way, which, hey, it's fine. She's still here. It's all good. Yeah, but I think definitely that one, between, like, what was going on and had to, like, do the careful investigation of the room, and how it just kept getting worse for her so much.
Oh, yes. There's two more equally bad scenarios in that book that I haven't touched yet.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Things to look forward to, gang. Yeah, but no, I think that was definitely part of it. For her, she was thrown into the deep end and fortunately swam, sort of.
Now, Andy touched on this before, but what things, because it is human nature to try and rationalize everything, what things has your character told themselves to rationalize what they've seen, or try to rationalize?
We need thinking time.
I think for Evie, her go-to explain everything away as much as possible, or at least trying to quiet the things in her mind. Good old denial works a treat. Like maybe not getting good enough sleep. Because when your brain doesn't get the sleep and the time to relax and clean itself overnight, it can do some crazy things, and the brain is wicked powerful, so...
I thought you were going to tell me that Evie just imagines everyone in their all-togethers.
Oh, I do that as well.
I was going to say, that's Cass.
I'm doing it right now.
No, you can't, because, like, I've got cat constellations on my dress. You can't.
That doesn't protect you.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Jinx. You can't hold Cass back like that. It never works.
Sorry, Cass has... No, I'm not going there.
Just know that I know things.
Yeah.
Cass knows things. Yeah. Who else would like to volunteer what their character uses as a rationalization?
Yeah, I jotted a few things down.
Excellent. Please tell us.
Poor lighting.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Tell
I've
us
got
more.
unfamiliar surroundings and a gas
my
leak.
notebook.
Gas leak.
Yes.
What about yourself, Piggles? Given Andy is currently away from the computer.
He's found his
notes. He's pulling out the notes.
Yay!
Look out.
The first
Getting
thing I read
serious.
is naked pictures. Let me just refresh my mind.
Oh yeah, that's because
Yeah.
we had some naked pictures.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, we did too.
Yeah.
You didn't get the naked pictures. You got told
No,
about
we
the naked
we
pictures.
got told we wanted to get them, but they wouldn't
Mm.
give them to us.
Cass wanted the naked pictures.
I wanted the naked pictures, but
And
they
used
wouldn't give
the
them to
character
me.
Evie as a vehicle to try and get them.
What did I
Fraud.
want
Fraud
them
and
for?
naked pictures. I love that. um. Okay. What has a lot? Okay, I think there's a couple of things. Eliza's probably starting to be like, she really needs to go back and look through some of her like core resources. Because she's starting to feel like there's a little bit more truth to some of the myths than she was originally thinking. But she knows that, you know, there's certain fungus which can cause mass hallucinations and that dancing disease that's happened in history. So she's not always sure that it's not caused by, you know, poor storage of produce potentially. as an option for some of these things. But at the same time, it's like, well, maybe there's a little bit more truth in the histories and stories than what she'd previously thought. And I'll just be sorting fact from fiction again.
Now, we touched on this a little. Oh, did you have anything else to add besides naked pictures for your rational?
Oh yes. Let me be a consummate professional real quick. Yeah, I think given his history of bartending, he's always seen how one story turns into another as it's passed down the bar, and another group comes in and starts talking, and things get embellished and things change over time as the stories are retold. And he's seen just how unreliable some people's minds can be and their retellings of things. So I think scenario 1 and 3, where it's people talking about this is what's happened, that's what's happened, and people kind of being deceitful as well. He's like, okay, those I can explain away. That's people, you know, talking things up more than they are, maybe for a purpose to get things. But the second one's I think he's not a man of science, so he's like, I don't know if there's anything that happens to bodies after they die or not. So he's trying to live in that air of ignorance where, oh, I'm sure a real doctor could give me a reason for this. I just haven't spoke to one yet. So I'm just going to put it down to things that I don't understand, but it's not anything creepy and weird. It's just something I've never seen before.
That's why they stitch bodies back together after an autopsy, to stop the bits from scattering and running around all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're stitching them in a certain way so they don't like climb out and, you know, knock on the graves underneath. And, you know, it's just... We had little windows into coffins back in the day to double check and make
little bells to ring.
That's right. Make sure people weren't actually accidentally buried alive, which did occasionally happen.
So what things have each of your characters been unable to rationalize, no matter how hard they've tried?
Spider mummy and spider babies.
Yeah.
I mean, look, to be fair, the corpses could have been galvanization. Like, Eliza's not quite letting go of that one just yet. I'm like, this could be straight from Frankenstein. But
there were still experiments of that nature going on at that time?
It was, and even if they were starting to die off in that period, like, they really weren't that old. They were all happening within sort of the last, like, what, 50, 70 years or so, something like that. So potentially galvanization, which I'm going to add to my notes about how does she rationalize everything.
Even nowadays, there's experimentation with electrical currents for things like that. So just done in a different way.
Yes, you know, but it comes down to the same: can we make things move after death, which is creepy. Yeah, but no, I think definitely the interactions with the spider children and the spider goddess themselves is definitely like, she does not know how to rationalize that. She's like that is going to haunt her nightmares for a very, very long time.
Yeah, same for Evie, I think. And also just the guilt gnawing away the fact that now there's a spider and spider babies unleashed on the town as well. We didn't really do much to stop it.
Hey,
It's fun.
you got yourself out alive.
Exactly.
And you know, that's what I said at the start. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get rid of the threat. You're just going to have to retreat and do what you can.
We are never going to that part of town again.
No.
So, no.
That's the spider part of town. We're not going back there. No.
The spider district.
That's right. It's all gone terribly downhill.
All of the maps at Evie's House of Arkham Spider District.
Can't go down that road. That takes us too close. We have to go around. I don't care if it takes 20 minutes longer.
So what has Finn and Bonnie not been able to rationalize?
The way the head was speaking in the morgue. You know, he might not be a man of science, but he understands that you can't speak without having breath. Like, he's been out of breath and he's been unable to speak before, and he knows that lungs exist. He's not that dumb. They're just, I think if it would have just been gurgling and like monstrous sounds, maybe he could have been like, oh, it's just the last remnants coming out of it or whatever, or you know, maybe there was a breeze in the room that just went through the open cavities and made noise. But hearing tangible words coming out of this thing that is not connected to anything else, he's racking his brain over and over with that, and he's trying to think of a way that maybe I was just imagining the words because I was stressed out or something, but he's still stuck on that, whereas the rest he's putting down to hearsay and hysteria and kind of preying on people because he's seen it happen before, but he can't get that image out of his mind. That's probably the biggest thing.
I think I think Bonnie mostly thinks she can rationalize a bunch of it. You know, this is all props, smokes and mirrors, poor lighting, or I think maybe to her, what she probably can't rationalize is perhaps some of the scenarios have people that are okay with what they're seeing. You know, that some people seem to be, I don't know, more clued in or know what's going on. Maybe that's something she can't rationalize. How come you're so okay with giant spider? Maybe that, I don't know. Or maybe why does each scenario end so in such a similar way? We're not we don't seem to be getting like a really clear resolution to what exactly is going on. So maybe that's why she hasn't changed her mind on anything, because each scenario has been so unclear.
It's getting clearer the higher your mythos score goes, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I guess.
So, with everything that has happened and your character's current belief in the supernatural, how does this impact their approach? How has their approach changed? So the way they would investigate things when they first started and approach particular things like questioning people, investigating residences, all those sorts of things. How has all of that changed given what your characters have experienced?
He's less willing to listen to explanations about why someone might be doing this, because he's starting to get this feeling of everything that they say they're meaning the complete opposite whenever we go to these places, and everyone's just being deceitful, and he's probably going to be trying to cut through the bullshit more than he would have done previously, especially when it comes to things that are in his mind that other in this realm of the academics that he has a little bit of a thing against, and he wants to prove himself against it. Like, I can bust through your stuff even though I haven't been to university or to school as much as you have. You're not as smart as you think you are. I can get through this, this smoke and mirrors stuff that you've got going on, to this whole facade of, it's just a gathering and blah blah blah. Like, I know you're trying to get something. That's the way he's thinking. I know you're just looking for a way to have a leg up on other people, and you're using this as just a way to convince people that that's not actually what you're doing. He's just, going to be probably more direct going forward and less willing to kind of, let's get all these case notes up, let's get all this evidence. It's just like, nah, cut through that. Like, I know.
Hey, Eliza's the librarian. Screw you, Promethean.
I think
giving us a suspicious, innocent look just for the chat's benefit.
Bonnie hasn't. How do I put this? She hasn't become a believer. I think she's just become uncertain. In that first scenario where we all just kind of rushed into it and went for it, and I think it played out really nicely.
Especially when you got locked in a hallway.
Well, we just went for it. We were like, okay, we're here. Let's make the best of it. That second scenario with the bodies, we were super tentative, and we did muck around. Well, not muck around, but we took a lot of time preparing, and we still weren't prepared enough. And then this last one, I feel like we were the spider one, even though I didn't see it to the end for reasons. We spent a lot of time asking questions and trying to force maybe an answer to happen. And we weren't getting what we wanted, what we thought we deserved almost. We were super uncertain. So I think we've gone from being cocky and confident to, I don't have a fucking clue at this point. I think that's how they've changed. I don't think she's changed. I think now she's just going, I don't know. Yep.
So would it be fair to say that your character is now in a position of, I really don't know how to prepare because I've got no idea what the situation's going to be?
She can't prepare. Yeah. Bonnie can't prepare anything. She's, look, I even wrote that. Very unprepared, tentative, less certain. Yep.
I think there's like a fun dynamic there that I'm looking forward to playing with you. Like, you feel unprepared, and like Finley's gonna be, screw preparing. Like, we can do this anyway. I feel like Finley's gonna start pulling you into things.
So you're almost gonna have like a bit of a switch around.
Yeah.
Like in the last like storyline, Bonnie was definitely pulling us into things quite a lot.
The donkey costume, to name one.
Hey, I swapped scenarios because I thought you would appreciate going to the
So that donkey costume's going to come in handy then.
I didn't say you were going to be actors. I just said you would end up going to a theatre.
Katrina will find a way.
I'll find a way. Yeah. I've got costumes. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens.
You want theatre sports games? I've got a box of them over here. Yeah.
I have this distinct feeling that we're going to end up with two different groups in the party. The action group of Bonnie and Finn arguing who gets to drive the car, and that, no, we need to talk with people and research things of Evie and Eliza.
Yes.
Well,
I have literally written research more in my notes.
I think for Evie, she's not going to be as open to trusting people at, the face value, given that in every scenario we have met with someone and asked them questions and they have directly either lied to us or, sidestepped it and have been somewhat complicit in whatever was going on but haven't said anything. Like, for instance, Frida, why was she pretending to be a mute when she wasn't? And that's the type of thing that now I think Evie is going to be like,
Yeah.
I don't actually believe a word out of your mouth.
Out of character, it's because she couldn't fake the accent. That's actually in the notes, yeah. So they told her to be mute. Yeah.
My note's funny. It's just fraud, not even Hungarian.
I did see that big fraud note
Yeah.
from the forest.
Yeah.
Fraud in big letters. Oh, that was so fun. I think on Eliza's part, I think how she's going to approach it is like her two main experience so far has been disreputable science through galvanization of those bodies and cults.
Yep.
And so I think like she's going to have a bit of a bias bent towards those things moving forward for a little bit until something else happens to potentially change that. But yeah, I think definitely considering like she got quite seriously injured the first time round. She's had some really big hits to her sanity. So I think she's probably initially going to be a little bit cautious, but definitely going to be like have to use research a lot more intensely to try and solve things and use the resources that they've got instead of getting carried away with or what she might perceive as getting carried away with the actual investigation work. Rightly or wrongly, she's a bit traumatized.
I think when we're researching, I've been watching Buffy recently, and Giles got told off because he was looking at the pictures and not reading the words. So maybe we have to not look at the pictures so much and actually read the words.
Unless it's cults, and then you definitely need to look at the pictures.
Yeah.
For the symbols that they hide in there.
Never read anything out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xander, don't speak Latin in the books.
Yes. So tonight, you will be looking at pictures in character. But we will get to that. Would you like the story hook before or after a break?
Before.
Okay. I don't have it in PDF, so I'm going to be looking down when I'm reading things at the moment. So I'm not making intense eye contact with you all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are. That's all right.
Hang on. Now I am. No.
Just lower the camera a little bit.
She's trying to use her X-ray vision just that little bit better.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks after the incident with the Vargas, you've had your debrief. You've been given time to heal or become a little bit more mentally well and adjust to things again before you are called for your next assignment. So Edgar contacts you all and says, we have been approached by a reclusive researcher named Julius Vanderhoff. He's been researching an ancient dead language. He has a contact at the Miskatonic University who claims to have seen this language on a building in Arkham. He has asked us to try and uncover any materials related to the language and provide them to him for his research. He's advised that the contact at the Miskatonic University that advised him of this building with the language on it is Professor Warren Rice. Now, Eliza,
Mhm.
give me a library roll. You're going to be using that a few times tonight, just saying.
That's all good. Here's hoping I don't roll like trash. That is... just remind me again, because it's been like nearly 4 months.
Under.
No, that's not the question.
Okay.
If I've rolled double zeros on the tens dice and I've rolled a 1, is that a 100 or is that a 1?
No, that's a 1.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, I think it's a 1, but I'm gonna double check because
No,
it's been
that's
a
a
hot
1.
minute. Okay, cool. That's a real good success.
I wish I could give you more information than what I'm currently about to give you. You are
okay.
aware that Professor Warren Rice is an expert in ancient language and cryptography. He is based in the archaeology department, and he has a small office adjacent to the library that's at the university, which is called the Orne Library, as you're aware. And his small office is like in a little brick building that is a bit more modern because it's been added to it, but he's basically next door to the library. And Edgar is then, Professor Rice suggested making a trip to the Orne Library, but also that the building he saw the language on was the Miskatonic Playhouse.
Awesome.
So you had the writing on it.
So I'm just trying to
Too late. I've screenshot it.
Okay. Phew. Oh, good. Someone screenshot it because I was writing notes.
I don't have it. I tried to get the PDF earlier tonight, but drive-through was not cooperating.
Okay.
So I'll get the PDF so I could do screenshots for you, but
I didn't screenshot it.
Pictures.
I lied. Has Warren come up before? Have we spoken to Warren before?
no.
No,
So
we've spoken to a different professor before.
you had one that did do archaeology stuff, but he was more connected on the occult side.
Oh.
And that was the professor that passed away in that first scenario. And the other professor you've engaged in is one that was anthropology and history.
So this is an archaeologist.
This is an archaeologist. So the other historian professor that you engaged with was the one that was the first one that was like, hey, the Vargas are fine to hang around with, but I really don't think they're Bulgarian nobility.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Hungarian nobility.
Yeah.
So those are the only 2 professors you've met so far.
Where are we right now? What are we doing?
So you would be at the residence that you meet Edgar at, which is also where you had your convalescence when you were all mentally unfirm. I shouldn't say all because Finn escaped. So it's where you all have had treatment before. It's a, you know, you're aware he doesn't own it. It's owned by the Bluestone, but it has facilities to provide people who are in their employ.
And just a quick, was it Warren Rice that saw the writing on the Playhouse?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is he's at the University, Warren Rice, isn't he? And is the Orne Library inside the university or a separate building?
Yes. No, so it's inside the university. You have been there before. Eliza actually works there, so she's been able to get you access because the last time you went there was late at night.
Great. Eliza, do you know Warren?
That's a good question. Do I know Warren? Do I know Professor Rice?
Given you rolled a 1, You've definitely interacted with him. It's not someone you go to tea with or anything like that. But you've interacted with him. Pretty solid person. From the impression you get from him, if he believes he's seen it, he's probably telling the truth, given his archaeology and cryptography knowledge. He would be able to recognize those sorts of patterns.
Okay. So, I have had dealings with him before. Yes, he's quite a very sort of down, relatively sensible man. If he says that he's seen some similar images on the playhouse, I would take it as fact. He's quite a upstanding archaeologist from my dealings with him.
He's not gonna lie to us, is he? Is what you're saying?
I think he's probably not lying about this, but let's say never say never about lying. If we ask him something about his personal life, I dare say that he's not going to be quite forthcoming. Professors being what they are.
All right.
Especially when it comes to students.
All right. Should we do a little trip to the library ourselves, or?
I can definitely get us in there and talk to the professor. I should be able to look up his office hours quite easily as soon as I get back to the Orne Library.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, because of your extreme success, which also means you get to tick that box.
Yes.
Please don't forget about those when you have those successes, to tick the box for the increases, because the increases are important.
Yes.
You would also know that one of the I wouldn't go so far as to say library assistant, because obviously there are a lot of people who work as an assistant there that are quite well educated themselves and are there for their own research and those sorts of things. You would be aware that there's a reference chief there called Mrs. Diane Loring, who has that background knowledge in relation to looking up and researching things to do with different languages and that sort of stuff.
Mrs. Diane Loring. And sorry, you said she's a library...
She's a reference chief.
Reference chief, thank you.
Because she's that bit further up due to her knowledge.
She would have been helpful in our previous games, wouldn't she? Is she new?
Did you roll a 1 last time?
Roll it now.
She's
From memory, 88. I don't remember anything.
She's been on holidays this entire time and has only just come back from getting the sea air. And her speciality is languages. Okay, awesome. Notes. Lots of notes. Okay.
So now that you have your story hook and where to next, it's going to be time for a break.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay then.
Already?
Dun, dun, dun.
Goodbye. See you soon.
Keep going on
See you
break. We'll be
soon.
back
In a minute.
Please
Hi, g'day, hello, it's me, Promethean. There's a zero in it. Zero stands for the amount of preparation I went into this jump scare in the Be Right Back screen. Hey, hi, I'm stopping by real quickly just to let you know, specifically you, exactly and only you, about a fun little project we're doing with Hexes and Vexes called Fuckbard Island. If you haven't seen our little things out on the socials, Fuckbard Island is a very cool little thing. It's a fantasy reality TV show where 50 contestants will vie for survival, with 10 of them being secretly assassins, all scampering for a share of cash and prizes and or just their actual life. Wait, are you flipping people off in the background there? Fuck you. Check out the socials, the Hexes stuff, the Lawrite stuff. We've all got things up there that give you a bunch of FAQs for it. If you know anyone you think would appreciate being a part of it, feel free to send them that information and get them to put an application in. We are going to be finished casting by April, so there is so little time left to throw your name in if you are interested. That's all. Goodbye forever. I'm simply going to go back to the BRB screen now, and then they'll be back from the break as per normal. It's going to be fine. There's definitely not anything up with that woman who's real good at knowing stuff and has come back from time away at sea. Definitely not going to be a problem. Almost probably. Goodbye forever, etc. The end. Okay. I'm having a dart.
Is it audio?
Maybe.
And well, I was going to say we're back, but apparently we're in. I'd like to know what we're in for. Everyone's
shall
gone
find out
silent with a
soon.
moment
We
of
shall-
reflection.
Like, of all the people that
Hmm.
know what we're in for, surely it's you.
Tonight, we're in for a little bit of studying the books, much to Finn's distaste.
Oh no.
And theatre? Are we going to see a theatre show? We're going to the theatre, right?
Not tonight. That will be the next session.
What's on? Is it Cats? Because I'm not interested.
No,
in
it's not.
Cats.
It's not
Is
a
it-
musical.
Is it Midsummer Night's Dream so Bonnie can use her donkey costume?
No.
Thank God it's not a musical.
If this scenario had that it was a musical, I would be rewriting it.
If
What?
it was a musical, I'd be out.
I would
I
be
have a
singing.
distaste for musicals.
Except for Repo the Genetic Opera.
Even that. It's the like if it could be a conversation, why does it have to be a song?
Exactly. And that's why when we were watching something that had a character, like a female, that was like, I'm anti-musicals, why do they have to sing stuff? Why can't they just say it? Hamish just turned and looked at me. I'm like, yeah, darn right. Yes.
Yes. And the eye contact. Don't.
Mm.
It's already cringe enough, please.
Oh.
Having said that, fully recommend Evil Dead the musical, but it is very different to the musical. Fully recommend paying the extra to be in the splatter zone and getting covered with fake blood. Beautiful.
Also fully
Beautiful.
recommend just like giving really intense eye contact to Cass because she hates it. I promise I love you, Cass.
Being sincere and making eye contact, I'm out of there. Don't.
No feelings for Cass.
Excuse me. We have made eye contact while having shots. I'd like to point that out.
That's true, but we weren't being sincere about things at the time.
That's true.
Is that a
You can
hard
have
veil? Eye
one
contact?
but not the other.
Only one of them at any time. Okay, so I presume that we are heading off to the Orne Library, also known as the Miskatonic University Library.
I failed to write a note down. Are we looking for information on a language, or what was our Edgar? Remind me. He said he found something that had a language and he was interested in obtaining it, or was the language on a building?
So there was a reclusive researcher that had contacted Bluestone.
Yep.
That researcher has been researching a particular dead language. And Professor Warren Rice, who is a friend of his who works at the Miskatonic University, came to him and was like, hey, I've seen that on the Miskatonic Playhouse.
Understood. Got it. All right.
So Vanderhoff has contacted Bluestone with a, hey, this is what I've been told. I'm hiring you to go and obtain materials and sort of research the Playhouse and get me effectively the language that's there to help aid my research.
Okay. Why are we going to the library? What we need to do is we need to go to the local Actors Guild. That's where we should be going.
No, because Professor Rice recommended that you start at the Orne Library.
I see.
To learn about the language.
Okay.
We're not going to the stage show yet.
Hey, 80% of this adventure occurs at the Playhouse. Tonight is the only bit that doesn't. So you can note instant gratification.
This is our chance for character development. It's fine.
That's right.
Delayed gratification. This is your capacity to work on that character skill.
That's right. It'll give me more time to work on my character. Correct.
That's right.
And your costumes, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Even though you don't know what play is on or what parts are available, or even if there are any parts available yet.
What is my motivation?
What is all that motivation?
Your motivation is getting paid.
And Katrina's motivation is chaos to get on stage.
Yes.
On set. You know what? I'm actually at my best when I'm on stage. So you'll see I'll be really quite good with being in a theatre.
Okay.
What's that? Oh, it's just the curtain. It's fine. We're good. We're good. Who's that? Oh, it's a director. Okay, we're fine.
Okay.
Go on.
So we're going to the Orne Library.
We go to the Orne Library. Eliza would be well aware of this, but also your characters would have come to this realization, given your recent visits to the library, that it is best known for a large collection of esoteric and occult tomes. It's a 3-story stone building that sits in the center of the university campus, and is widely known to also have very archaic texts that are hard to source. So there is a restricted collection there to do with things that obviously they don't want a lot of people to access because it could damage the books due to their age, etc., etc. Despite the fact that it's a university campus library, due to its extensive collection, it is visited by other academics and members of the public, so you don't have to be a student or an employee to access the library. But the fact that you have Eliza with you, who is employed there when she's not working for Bluestone, means that you do have a little bit more freedom than a general member of the public would necessarily have in accessing some of the resources there.
Would it be fair to assume that Eliza's got access to the restricted section with the all the time?
You do not.
I do not. Okay. You're right.
And that is because I can count the people that have access to that on one hand.
Yep.
You have met one of them, but he has now died. When you go there today, it is very busy, but Eliza, you are aware that if you can, by finding this is Diane Loring, you'll be able to sort of cut through some of the traffic and focus where you're aiming your research, because she is someone who is aware of different languages as part of her academic background.
Okay. We don't know what the language is yet without talking to the
Not
professor,
yet,
though.
no.
Okay. Yeah.
So you've been given a piece of paper which is effectively a reproduction of the language. So it's not the box that I showed before. It's not a photo of the box, but it's effectively that language reproduced on a piece of paper so that you've got a comparison. Mrs. Loring she's, you know, as for the time, she's got, you know, the very sort of formal dress with the coat, and, you know, the little bow that women tended to have with the blouse done as far up as it possibly can be, the hair pulled back in a stern bun. She looks probably late 30s, early 40s. You're aware that while her accent would indicate she's been in Arkham for a considerable period of time, there is another ethnicity there, but you're not aware of what it is because you're not that close with her. But whatever that ethnicity is, it gives her appearance a little bit more of a angular bone structure. So along with the stern and formal dress, she also has a stern appearance, but you're aware that she's actually quite lovely despite the, for want of a better term, resting bitch face.
Stern, resting bitch face. Right, going in my notes.
That was Diane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Diane, yeah.
Yep, Diane Loring.
Yep.
So when you track her down, more than happy. Like I said, despite her appearance and people thinking she looks the stereotypical stern librarian, she is actually quite lovely and is more than happy to help people. You know, obviously not people who are just coming in with, I want to know stuff, but if you're coming in with specific questions, she's more than happy to share her knowledge.
Okay, great.
When you show her the piece of paper that has the drawing of the language, she suggests looking for examples of the language of Mu, M-U, which is an ancient language that's not commonly used. It is relatively unknown. It was a dead language that has been slowly pieced together. So she suggested that would be your first port of call because that's what the symbols remind her of.
All right.
Could would it be, are we allowed to split up and do a little bit of our own research as well?
You certainly are. Just let me know who's staying with Diane to research Moo and who's not.
Eliza will definitely stay with Diane and research Moo. I think that's going to make the most sense. It also might potentially be a good idea for some of us to go and to arrange an appointment with the professor and just ask them for the other locations that they found.
It was the Playhouse. That's the only other location.
It was just the Playhouse. Okay, so
Yeah.
nothing more specific than that.
I'd like to maybe have a see if there's any historical texts on when it was built, or by whom, or any shows that have been in there.
Yeah. So I will come back to that.
Yep.
We'll do the library roll to see what you find about the language of Moo.
Layout is a 15, which should be an extreme success, I think, for me.
I was going to say if I'm
It's
staying
not
to help with
quite.
Moo,
It's a hard success.
Hard success.
could I lend a hand to make it an even better success?
So with lending a hand, you wouldn't necessarily improve the success because you're rolling separately, but you shorten the amount of time it would take to find it.
Okay.
So you make it quicker, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not necessarily in a hurry that we're aware of at the moment, so up to you guys.
Correct. There has been nothing that's been posed as a sense of urgency or anything like that. So on that, you do find examples of the language of Moo, and it is a pictorial language as well. So it is very symbol-based as opposed to what you would be used to from a lot of other languages like Latin, where it's mainly word-based. You compare the symbols on the piece of paper with the examples of the Moo symbols, and it is very similar, but there is distinction. So it's almost like the languages are somehow related, but you know how you can have like an original language that breaks off into two separate things. So there's similarity, but it's not close enough that you could pull from Moo across to explain the meaning of what you've got. But they're definitely related. In D&D terms, think Elven versus Sylvan.
I was thinking, I love Flemish and German.
So you can see why Diane would have directed you towards the language of Moo, because there is definitely a similarity, but there's just enough differences there that you can tell it's not the same.
I know this is not quite how libraries work, but would the books next to the Moo books be helpful in any way? Or I assume we're in a language section.
You're in a language section. Flicking through some of the other books, you don't find anything that's as close as what the Moo ones are.
So,
which I mean makes sense. You've got a reclusive researcher who's piecing together a dead language. Moo's already been pieced together to a certain extent.
So what has this researcher already found? Do we need to go and ask the researcher, or are there any notes in this book?
You were given a piece of paper with the symbols on it, and you actually don't know how to contact him. You were not provided with that information.
Well, I guess while they're all looking through the books, I'll have, being a man who is not a librarian, stayed with Diane and just asking her, we're here helping Professor Warren Rice. You wouldn't happen to know how to get hold of him, would you?
His office is next door to the university.
Okay,
Oh,
But
the library even.
do you know if he's around today? Is he here? Have you seen him?
I'm not sure of his office hours, but you could always try.
Do you have a contact number? Oh, at the phone they don't really have them there. It's a short walk.
It is in the building next door, but don't forget the original researcher was Vanderhoff. Rice was just the person who saw it on the Playhouse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Rice we could potentially talk to in terms of like other potential links, but yeah, more than
And
likely.
if he's seen these symbols and be like, hey, they look similar, he's got some knowledge somewhere is what I'm thinking. Maybe he's got a little bit more we can go off as well if he's got a musty tome at home.
Well, I think Eliza's going to wander back over to Diane as well and go, Diane, do you know if yourself or Professor Rice has a contact for Professor Julius Vanderhoff?
I've heard of him, but he's a recluse. Like, no one has seen him for years.
Yes, I know. I was hoping we could get some more information to help us with this particular project. The Moon language is quite similar to this, but not quite enough. It's almost like it's a different dialect. The way that probably more closer to like the differences between, I don't know, maybe Italian, Portuguese, or something like that.
I can't think of what other language it would be. It would have to be one that's, well, that hasn't been put back together and translated. I would say whoever gave you this, they're looking for more information so they can effectively start decoding it.
Yes, I think you're right. We might have to go and look at the originals and see if we can decipher anything like that. It is an interesting one. Do you know if, I've had dealings with him, of course, before, but do you know if Professor Rice has some experience? He's a cryptographer as well, isn't he?
He is a cryptographer.
He might have some experience in decoding. Or at least might be able to point us in the general direction.
He is the sort of person that doesn't research the languages, but you might consult if you have examples to help decode. But you would have to have sufficient examples in their context for him to be able to start putting it together. But it works quite nicely with his archaeology. I mean, his knowledge of things like hieroglyphics would be quite extensive.
Yes, and that's what I was hoping to take advantage of. Thank you.
Are we free to take this book that you've pointed us towards then? Can we just take this with us now?
I don't think the book can be removed.
No, it's not for borrowing privileges, sorry. I mean, you're welcome to come back and look at it at any time. Eliza has access to the library after hours, but it's just not for removal.
Oh, exactly. You know, Eliza, it's not gonna go missing.
No, it's probably better that we do keep it here, Finley. Sorry, but I can make any extensive notes that you need, or get you in, as Diane said, after hours. It's not a problem.
Right. I thought if we're dealing with a recluse, it might be best if he just has the original, but just in case we find him, but that's okay.
Now, over to the investigation for the Playhouse. Library roll, please.
Sorry, just the way Katrina's face lit up.
40. What am I rolling here? 4.
Libraries.
All rolling?
Well, it is 47, so I've hit it.
Good.
Excellent.
Woo!
Okay, so going through the different maps of Arkham, you reach as far back as 1818. And there are some early photographs from the building that has the turn of the century. And there are pillars out the front of the playhouse, which are pristine. And when you look at the most recent one, using a magnifying glass,
Of course.
yes, you can see that there are symbols carved into it, but the photo is not distinct enough to be able to read symbols or reproduce them.
Okay. Do we know any of the architects involved? Okay.
I mean, realistically, when the playhouse was built, the symbols weren't there, so it's probably not going to be something an architect would know about, because it's not a change to the structure, it's a change to the physical appearance.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the newer owners have put them up. Potentially.
You don't know who put them
We
there.
don't know. We can only theorize.
You can only theorize currently.
But we can record search.
You can record search. And you know where you would do that? The Arkham Advertiser, which is the local paper.
I see.
And given it is daytime, it would still be open. But we are getting later in the afternoon.
Should we split the group?
So the question is, do we need to at the moment? Like from the sounds of it, there's not much point in talking to Professor Rice until we have some more information that he can compare with and help us like decode. We do have to visit the playhouse at some point. But yeah, we can potentially. But yeah, if there's an argument to split the party, I'm just asking the question as if we need to.
I mean, is there much else that we can really get from the library right now? We've kind of got the information that we can gather mostly, right? We've seen some potential symbols on the playhouse. We've found a book that's told us it's not quite the same language.
The other option I think of is, while there is still daylight, is that some of us can go to the playhouse and just actually look at the symbols and take more detailed notes than what we've been given. That would be an option while there's still daylight, and then half of us could go to the advertiser.
Okay. Could we see who's checked out this book before, maybe? I don't know if that would be helpful.
It's not for borrowing.
Oh, yes, okay. Of course it isn't. Okay.
We can ask Diane.
It's one of the rarer tomes, and so it does not fall into the borrowing category.
No, but it might have a I don't know what you call it, like a names list of who has accessed it.
Because it's not in the.
Okay.
No, but we can still ask. Diane, do you remember if anyone in sort of recent times has actually come to look at this particular dialect, or has asked questions that you can recall? I know it's a big ask.
I can't think of anyone. Occasionally we have archaeologists come in and reference, this is obscure languages, but nothing sticks out in relation to this particular language.
Right.
A quick question, just about the language. You wouldn't happen to know any examples of where it's been used? Would you, this Moo language? Maybe if we can understand the origin of Moo, we'll get a better idea of where to start looking for this cousin language.
I'm more of an academic rather than knowing where it's currently used. Do you mean currently or recently?
Well, I think more of, you see archaeologists come in here. Is there any of them mention Moo in particular places of the world?
Not that I can think of, no. There's always the fact that it's had to have been cited at different places for people to piece it together. But nothing I can think of to do with any recent use of it. Certainly nothing I can think of in the last, say, century.
Okay.
Can I-
actually, question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cass.
So I was just going to ask a question, Diane, about Vanderhoff, Julius. Do you know, like, is there any rumors about why he's reclusive?
I just presumed he was married to his work and tended to work in solitude for it.
There's nothing glaringly obviously wrong with him then?
No, not that I'm aware of. If there is, he's kept it well hidden by being as reclusive as he is.
Okay, thank you.
If anyone in the university knows him actually on that point, or who might know him, I know he's a recluse, but he must have, come out at some point, or someone's had some sort of correspondence with him.
I mean, I don't know a huge amount about the social life of the professors that work here. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's not a problem. We can always ask around a little bit. You know how the professors like to talk.
And I mean, I'm sure that there would be people that have come into contact with him at some point, but I'm not aware of anyone having a friendship or anything like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I actually had a question as a player. The book that we were studying about the mood language, did that provide, this was actually based off Finley's question from earlier, did that have any examples of where the mood language was used or found listed in the book?
So I could sit here and I could research that and I could tell you that those things were in it, but I can also tell you that it's not overly relevant and that's why I didn't do it.
Perfect. That's good. No, that is very helpful because then we can close off that line of questioning.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so team, do we want to split and have half of us look at the symbols on the playwright and take some more detailed notes and then half go to the advertiser, or would we all like to go to the advertiser? What are we vibing with?
I'm keen to go to the theatre.
Fair.
I don't think it's really important when it was built. I just thought that maybe that might give us a lead to.
Well, it did give you a lead in that the symbols weren't always there.
They weren't always there.
They are a recent addition.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's a really good question that you asked, and that they're going through the records of through the newspaper. We should be able to eventually work out, and maybe they've even got pictures of the playhouse through history that you can pinpoint it a little bit better. So no,
Let's
it's a
do
great
a
avenue.
binary search.
Given
Let's go.
Given our past experiences of splitting the party, I would Evie's gonna say I would prefer that we stick together, but if we have to split up,
Well, we don't
If we-
have to, that's the thing.
If we all
we're not
look
in a
through,
rush.
No, not yet.
we can split the pile of pictures into 4 piles and see where the symbols first show up. I guess it will make it quicker for all of
So
us.
trying to give you a picture of the playhouse without ruining what is on the page. That's what the playhouse looks like.
Ooh.
Hang on, I want to take a picture of this real quick.
Let me go like this so you can't see the other writing.
Yes, thank you. Okay, he's hoping that works.
The problem with using hard copy instead of PDF, I like both. Mostly. I prefer hard copy, but running games online, it's not as easy.
No.
Okay, so who's going to the advertiser? Because you can
We
split the
all
work there.
are. We're all going.
Is it next door? Where is the distance of these buildings?
Not too far away. You would get there probably an hour before they would finish running their copy for the day.
I have an important question. Who's driving?
Yeah, I had the D6s ready to go.
Yeah, I love how you guys are prepped for the who gets to drive the car. That's the important question.
Percentile rollies.
Yep. Percentile rollies.
I thought it was 2D6 I've written down. For who's driving. Percentile rollies. That's fine. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Is it
The
higher
lowest
or lower
person
that gets it?
Lowest wins in Cthulhu, right?
Mm-hmm.
24.
77.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bonnie's driving.
He's driving.
Ah,
Awesome.
so you go across to the Arkham Advertiser, and it is the local paper in town. And while Bonnie, you're not from Arkham, and neither is Finn, you've been around long enough to know that it has existed pretty much as long as Arkham has.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Almost anyone would recommend that it's a great repository for archival information about Arkham, surrounding area, those sorts of things. And when you first walk into the office of the Advertiser, it is very different to outside. Like outside, you have people walking around, but it's still fairly calm and quiet. As soon as you walk through the door, it's like a completely different atmosphere. There's noise, there's frenetic energy, there's people running around. It's almost like a form of organized chaos and activity. When you go towards the office, there are 3 women who are sitting down, chain smoking cigarettes as they did at that time. And they are simultaneously speaking on phones that they've got crooked, as well as writing down notes and passing it around. So they're extremely busy, and you know that it's getting close to, like, it's probably an hour before that activity would close down. They're finalizing any of the ads that need to go in the paper, any of the notices, stories, all those sorts of things that need to be organized for the next day's edition. Occasionally one of the women hangs up the phone, scribbles more down, passes it around again. Anyone feel free to roll a psychology check.
Ooh. Does only one person's count, or can we all see?
No, you all get to roll.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, no.
definitely fail.
No, I just failed by like 1.
You can spend luck if you want.
No.
It was, sorry, 1. I meant 8. Do
Do
I spend 8
would
luck on it?
use all of my luck and then some to try and pass.
No.
With an 82, I have got a definite fail.
Is Evie bringing it home, or did Evie fail as well?
Oh no, hard fail.
We're
Okay,
all a little tired still.
that's fine. That's fine. So when you approach the 3 women to start to talk to them, there is one who is slightly older. She looks like she's in her 50s. She has the sort of, it's almost like a fringe, except it's fuzzed up and curled back. And she looks like she is a Karen, a 1920s version of a Karen, which is funny considering her name is Karen.
Is that in the book, or did you make that up?
It's in the book.
Love it.
Her name is Karen Jeffries, and she doesn't really approach you because they're still busy sitting in their desks, but she makes it very clear she does not want you disturbing the staff until they finish their, like, wrap up the things for the next edition. You are more than happy to take a seat and wait for this to occur. Do you wait for this to occur, or do you push your luck?
We got in trouble with this last time, so I feel like maybe
We're gonna
we
behave.
wait.
You're going to behave? Okay. That's a good move.
We're all going to show some character growth.
Yeah, that is a good move. Because you've waited patiently, she then comes over when they're wrapping up, and her demeanor is very different. Like, she was, like I said, a typical Karen presentation at the time that all that was happening. But she is much more amenable. She's much nicer. She's much calmer now that they've gotten their work out for the day. And she is more than happy to help you. Also hints occasionally that it would be good for the newspaper to have patrons.
No, I spent my last $10 bribing someone in the last game, so I'm spent.
And Miss Jeffries gives you access to the archives, which is in the lower floor of the Arkham Advertiser. Now, when you go downstairs to the basement, which has the archives, it is... How does anyone find things in this? It is an utter chaos. There are stacks of metal shelves that are covered in brown boxes. Each of the brown boxes is stuffed with different files. The boxes are organized by date. And on the outside of each box, scrawled in a myriad of partially legible script, has a list of what the contents are. She is willing to help you find information relating to the playhouse and tells you to look for anything tagged with the capital letters MP, Miskatonic Playhouse. This is where you can feel free to use library use, or, if you so choose, though I don't think any of you have high skills in it, navigate, given the maze of boxes.
I got a bunch of things I think we could potentially look into. Should I read them out?
I just have do the roll, and then based on what you get is what I'll give you.
I failed.
Okay. I want to know about any closure or renovations or refurbishments that happened at the MP, Miskatonic Playhouse. Major ones like the thingies out the front. What are they called? Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian columns. One of those.
We will just say columns. It's fine.
Columns. All right. What am I aiming under? What am I looking up?
So, like I said before, library use or navigate, your choice.
Eliza did a regular success.
A regular success.
No.
Same, I got regular.
Regular?
Complete failure.
No, complete failure.
So those of you two that failed, you spend some time searching. All that you can come up with is the Playhouse's semi-regular autumn schedule that's published at the start of September every year. Always on page 5 of the Advertiser. Always page 5.
Hint,
Because
everybody.
they gotta leave space for the page 4 girls.
I thought that was page 3.
Or page 6, depending on the newspaper.
Depends
Okay.
on the spread. Could be across both pages.
Hey, if we're looking at the autumn schedule, what's on now?
I will get to that.
So autumn
Oh, good.
schedule.
Regular success. You discover a recent speculative piece, which I will read out in a bit, describing historically low numbers of the Playhouse's main production, including the implied suggestion that the producer, Edward Cleverstein, is not up to the job of providing diverse programming appropriate for a modern era.
It was Cats, wasn't it?
No, it was not.
Okay.
Too,
You were so
too
close.
early for cats.
What
You
was
were
his
so
name?
close.
Edward?
Cleverstein.
Cleverstein. If only one of you had gotten an extreme success, you would have gotten something juicy.
Well.
Don't tell us that. All right, how much luck do we all have? What do we?
So the speculative article is titled "Another Flop for Failing Theatre." after another failed production season, the Miskatonic Playhouse barely managed to draw 300 attendees over 7 showings of King Lear, their main stage production of Autumn. Many wonder whether the new producer, Mr. Edward Cleverstein, is really the enigmatic and bright young visionary he had been assumed to be when he took on the executive producer position. Like Lear, Cleverstein seems more interested in flattery and detailed reproduction of the classics instead of providing the public with entertainment appropriate to this modern age. It may be time for Cleverstein to follow metaphorically the character of Lear and die tragically. Perhaps then we will see something new and exciting that drags the arts of Arkham out of the turgid past.
Oof. Who's the reviewer?
Yeah,
that was actually going to be my question too. Who is the reviewer?
There is no name on the article. I am not kidding. There is no name on the article.
I'd love to interview them. How long ago was that article written?
So that is about this season.
Okay, thank you.
So when you were asking what is being shown, we've got classics such as King Lear. Doesn't necessarily mean King Lear's what's on this week.
It's not
But
a
at least you know it's the classics. It's not anything new.
Okay. So this is a review, isn't it? That was my next question.
Speculative article.
It's a review.
I mean, it's less reviewing the play and more criticizing his choice in production.
I've got a bunch of other things that I think might be noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know of any ownership changes? Any articles on who the current owner is?
You do not, because you did not get that level of success.
Oh, can we not just roll for everything?
No, that's what I said. It was one roll, and then depending on what you got as to how much you found.
But I bullshit. I've got other questions. Can other people roll?
No, because everyone has rolled.
We all rolled.
Son of a gun. Okay. I don't want to know anything about the theatre, staff, or personnel. I would like to know something else. Any articles about noise complaints or anything weird going on from the neighbours?
No.
Does that still cover under?
No, that would have been separate, but you don't find anything. I'm not even going to make you roll for that.
Okay.
That's not something that would be kept in a newspaper archives. That's something that would be at a police station.
All right. What about but hear me out. What about any kind of disasters or events that occurred at the theatre where people were quite unhappy or hurt or?
Nothing that you can find, except for the person who was unhappy at the choice of production.
Eliza's actually going to ask Karen directly, because it's still a good idea, like the line that you're going down, Katrina. Karen, have you heard any rumors like this? Speculative article is quite an interesting critique of the current producer. Have you heard of any sort of going on about the actual playhouse itself? I'm afraid I haven't been in quite some time.
Nothing in particular, except that the numbers of people who are attending are just consistently reducing.
Oh.
And do you know how long that's been going on? Like, is that, as the article claims, it stems from the time that the producer's taken over?
I mean, it had dipped a bit, and they hoped that putting someone in such as Cleverstein would, because he was, as the article said, claimed to be a bright young visionary, that he would increase the numbers again, but they've continued to decline.
And do you know how long he's been there? Because the article, I don't think, said.
I think about 2 years.
Okay.
I'm just going to grab this because there are people chatting in the hallway.
Can,
I saw it
Could-
open behind you before, and I was like, "Oh, cat."
is it possible to have a look at other page fives and like in the newspaper to see if like there is a name to any other articles that might have like used similar language, just to see
So
if we get a
that speculative piece was not on page 5. It's the program that's always on page 5.
Oh, the program.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Completely different research here. Can I, or any of us, can we research if there's any other articles on Cleverstein?
Phil, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. No, he was brought to Arkham for the Playhouse. He doesn't have a background in Arkham before coming here.
I see.
Question. So
Mhm.
we've seen one example of the program, correct?
Not a physical program that you get at the theatre, just no, you see you found a couple and it's always
Oh.
in that September.
Okay. Is the program decorated in any way?
No, it's fairly plain.
Okay.
It's basically just this is what the Playhouse is going to be showing.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
okay.
a good thing to keep in mind for when we go to the actual Playhouse, though, is to see if we can have a look at the actual programs and see if we've seen of the symbols, which I think is where you're going with that one.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, I have a question.
Mhm.
Are there any local theatre groups or actors that that were in that show? Maybe we should go and talk to a few actors, maybe. I don't know. I'm just wondering, is there a local theatre group?
Well,
So
Playhouse?
the Playhouse actually hires actors rather than a particular play group organising it and so forth. So people actually like do their auditions and get paid for their time at the Playhouse.
Do you know of any actors that are frequently in shows at the Playhouse?
Karen can't think of any off the top of her head because it just depends really on what play is going at the time, and people tend to come in and out because they're trying to make their break for the movies, and then some of them end up going into family life and so forth.
Whereabouts is the theatre in town? It's in the theatre district? Is it the only theatre in town?
It is the main theatre in town. Like you've got your community halls and stuff like that, but it is the main playhouse in town. So even though there's declining numbers, it's not because of competition. Like it's not that there's another playhouse taking the seats or anything.
All right. Do you want to go and see a show, you lot?
Yay.
I think it's definitely time we can inspect the Playhouse. Yeah, whether we see a show or not would be a different story.
And just as you're leaving, Karen exclaims, "Oh, wait a second!" Grabs a copy of the previous day's newspaper and shows you on the back pages a small advert looking for day labourers willing to work an honest day's work for an honest day's wages.
Theatre hands! Yay!
Interested parties should report to Hannah Carter at the stage door.
Anna Carter, stage door. Everyone, you have to wear your blacks for this. Trust me.
Now, being day labourers, it would mean that you would have to wait till the next morning to do it.
We could do a swing by tonight and just we could go and see what's on.
You could, and that could definitely happen next session.
Finley's going to drive us there because you're going to be not able to keep your
So
eyes on the road.
Yeah,
as we
you're going to
drive
be
past.
hanging out the window, hollering at the Playhouse.
Hey, we're going to the theatre. I'll need a gown for this.
So are you glad I switched which scenario we were doing? Because I thought,
What was the other one? Oh, don't tell us. Don't tell us. No,
I'm not going to tell you the other one because we'll end up doing it at some point.
Fantastic. I feel like this is the kind of one where I can go, oh, see, I told you it was all ropes and pulleys and mirrors.
This is definitely your beach scenario.
Yeah.
This
This one will do a full reset, I think, for my character back to the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just legitimately waiting for Katrina to find a way to get Bonnie on stage during a production.
Oh, I've already got ideas down.
So all of our other characters' jobs will be about corralling that or letting it go as a big distraction while we
Yep.
go do other stuff.
How
It'll be
many
great.
different ways can Hannah Carter say no?
Bonnie's already got her acting CV ready, and her experience as a stagehand, stage management. What does she need? Lighting, tech,
Well, you'll have to find out when you get there.
sound.
All you know is
I
day
do
laborers.
coconuts really well.
All you know is day laborers.
My question is that's been sparked by this opportunity to get some day laboring work is, are we, as investigators, getting paid for what we're doing? Because I feel like
Yeah.
it's pretty high stakes, but I
Yes.
haven't heard anything about any cash
So,
or
so you are getting paid. So
okay.
way back at the start, I had the Bluestone was basically paying your wages because obviously you weren't able to work while you were doing cases for them. So in a normal Cthulhu scenario, that's where credit rating comes into play as well, because you have to explain why you're not attending work, especially if you've been injured. Why are you in and out all the time? Or is there a longer gap between scenarios? All those sorts of things. And that's why often you have characters that are private investigators, etc., because they can make adventuring part of their employment. But I sort of waived that and created Bluestones that you didn't have to worry about all those side mechanics.
Cool. Okay. Well, we can add the
Yeah.
day laboring to our CVs for later.
Yep, for when you go nuts and you're the old person in the corner. Oh, don't worry about them. That's just Smiley Evie.
I mean,
old day laborer Evie.
I
who
prefer
says we have to
Smiley
be the day
because-
laborers, though? We can just dress like day laborers and
Yeah.
act the part, right, Bonnie?
I'm
Or
just gonna
you
hold
could
a
use-
That's
broom.
right, but
You could use day laboring to
obviously
get behind the scenes.
we could, but you all have to be part of the Miskatonic Dramatic Union first. So you can't just join a play. You got to join the union before you can get on. You can pick. It's either the Arkham Stage and Screen Union, or
Is
ASU,
it the Miskatonic Actors Guild? Is it MAG?
or the Arkham Thespians Collective. Up to you.
I'm
But
sure
yeah.
you'll come up with an acronym before next.
I was just
But what we
honestly
could
wondering
do-
if you can make it an acronym like ARS.
Us.
That's
think
where my
Arkham-
head is currently. I'm
Arkham
thinking,
Storyteller Society.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
we've done it. We've done
No,
it.
it's Arkham
Yeah.
Stage and Screen.
Oh.
Very good.
But I think we should probably get on to once we all unionize, then we can maybe advocate for better wages from Bluestone.
I mean, they pay all your medical bills. You've actually got a sweet deal.
Is
What
it
does
enough?
Edgar
And
stand
you
on
get
union
premium
busting?
private health care.
What are we getting? $20 a week? What is this? It's about 1910, 1920?
You're in your 1920s.
1920s. Yeah, 20 a week. I mean, it's not enough. 23, 24.
Paying medical bills doesn't pay for a trip to the theatre.
That's right.
They pay for all your costs, though.
Okay. So
We
we
have an
could get a
expensive
theatre
You
trip.
do
then.
actually, like, with the way it's set up, you do actually get a pretty sweet deal. But also, I think eventually you'll come to the awareness that not everyone necessarily has a long employment history there.
Fair enough.
But they take care of you, and you're aware from the scenario involving the morgue that when people get to a certain point, they actually stop them working because they don't want to see people deteriorate past a certain point.
Edgar, I may be alive, but I'm not living. Please, I just want to go to the theater. Just one show.
Just one show. So anyway, it's time for outros. Tell us who you are again, where we can
Yes.
see you again, and also what your favourite moment was tonight.
Who's going
Should we
first?
go in reverse order?
Reverse order me. I quite I'm quite happy that we're going to the theatre. I know Katrina, Bionic Brain, knows about the theatre. I'm just wondering how I can.
I'm going to troll you so hard by doing things wrong.
You can. And Bonnie wouldn't know, so I have to play it as.
Correct.
Maybe she does. Maybe she does. Maybe in her youth she had a little time in the theatre. So I'm quite excited. I think that's my favourite part is we get to play in the theatre a bit.
Maybe this is what we find out is Bonnie's like actual like downtime hobby is that you are a theatre fan and aficionado and you go to all the matinees you can afford.
But she doesn't have the acting skill because she hasn't picked that in her craft. So while she knows all about it, she can't act for shit.
That's right. But she's got all the playbills.
That's not true.
All of the show.
I've got charm. I've absolutely got charm at 50. That's quite high.
That is, but acting is actually a craft you can take.
Damn it. Can I give up one of these other crappy ones like heavy machinery or English? I'll happily give up English skills. That's quite high.
Or this turn into like parlez-vous français?
No, I think my charm's quite high. I think I could. Persuade is even higher. Like
persuade
you can persuade them to let you on stage and then they realise you act like shit.
Well, you know, that's what acting is.
Maybe
all I need to do is get an audience, and they're not very bright audiences, get them to believe that I'm someone else. Easy.
There's a certain charm in trying, at least.
Okay.
Oh, God. Where can we find you, Katrina?
So I was just going to Google it quickly. We have a gig coming up for the Heritage Festival. It is called, oh God, I don't know.
That's a funny name.
Do you need us to speak back
So
to you?
Tales from Rat City is my podcast group, and the show we have coming up is called Panic in the Sky, and so during I think it's World War, I'm not going to know, I don't know, 40s, so it's World War II. Blimps were a thing, and people started spotting blimps across the world, and we here in Victoria and around Ballarat, in the news reports there were lots and lots of unidentified flying objects or blimps, possibly Hitler blimps, but yeah. So we've loosely based it around that. So the characters get to go and explore and talk to people who have seen sightings. So that's what it's about. And also one of the other characters has asked me to run the game, and I'm like, I don't really know how to run the game. I'll give it a go. So it'll be my first time running that. I have to practice a lot.
Just make shit up. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can do that really well. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And them to roll dice occasionally. Laugh at the results. Do a little bit of a maniacal smirk. Make them think something's going on. Or overly emphasize always page 5.
Yeah. I underlined that in my notes.
I should be taking notes on you.
Always page 5. I have learnt from last time, if Tammy like re-emphasizes something a few times, I'm writing that shit down. I'm also going to put this in there because Katrina didn't say this. This is at the Ballarat Mechanics Institute. So if you're in the vicinity of Ballarat, please do that because I opened the link that our producer put into the chat to have a look at where it was in case it was online.
May the 27th for the Ballarat Heritage Festival. Yep, Panic in the Sky. So you can watch it online. It'll be live streamed.
Perfect. Well, that's great for everyone who is not in Victoria like me and a few others. Lovely.
And we'll do like last year where we organised a watch party and then sat in Discord talking.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Mm.
Yes. That
Did
was
you not
awesome.
know that we did that?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah, we did a watch party.
Yeah.
It was great.
awesome.
It was real good. Oh shit, it's me next. Sorry, I was like, who went next? It's me. Hi guys, I'm Pickles. You can find me here, obviously, because you're here. You can also find me over on Jack Square Pegs every Tuesday. We are doing Traveller, which is older than me and very funny because I told my dad I was doing this and he's like, oh, I think I've got the original game books. I'm like, oh shit. Because my dad's an old nerd. It's great. And then proceeded to pull out all of his original D&D books as well. At the same time. But yeah, you can find me on there every Tuesday. You will find me back here now that we're back, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, that's me. That would be over to Eddie.
What was your favourite moment?
Oh, favourite moment. Okay, thank you for reminding me about that too. Legitimately was probably a combination of how excited Katrina was to try and get to the playhouse and also Tammy thwarting them every single time. They'll be like, you are not going there yet. You are
Not yet. The rest of the adventure is there.
God, and then we were forced to do book research when we could have just been watching a live theatre show. There better be a play-by-play, scene by scene in this next run, or I'll be cracking it.
I feel like Bonnie needs to give us as part of her lore, like her favorite plays, and they can just be sprinkled into the chat as we play.
Oh, I started writing down play names. Yeah, I've got one. The Last Masquerade. That's a favorite play of mine.
Love it.
Andy.
Is that the puppy?
Yes, I just got a visit from the puppy. Would you all like to see him?
Yes, because
Yes.
he's gorgeous.
Whoa.
For anyone who has not seen Andy's dog is amazing and beautiful. I'm in love with them from afar. Hi,
Aww.
Oh.
baby. He is the goodest boy.
It's a baby.
I'm Andy, and that was Ziggy, my crazy little boy, and he knows that I'm ending now because he heard my chair move slightly.
Oh.
I'm running in. I've been playing Finley, and you can find me here playing Finley, and you may see me in other places in the future when I have an internet connection that is not Frankenstein up through hotspotting and other crazy things. My favorite part of tonight, outside of all the questions about the theater, was probably going over all of the character reflection stuff. I really enjoy that sort of part of getting to know everyone's motivations a bit outside of the game and thinking about all the crazy stuff that we have already gone through. So that would have to be my favorite bit. And I will hand it on over to our lovely Shadowmere.
Thank you. I am Shadowmere or Cass. I was playing Evie this evening. If I'm not here, I'm over on Meeples and Dragons, playing in the Radiant Shadows campaign. The delightful and handsome Gallivad Deedle, who is just a pleasure to be around 100% of the time. And I think my favorite part of this evening, obviously apart from just the pure delight on Katrina's face anytime anyone mentioned theatre, I enjoyed the utterly scathing review that Cleverstein got, and I thought it was a rather sassy thing to do to also anonymize it so they didn't get any backlash. I thought that was brilliant. I would totally do the same thing.
Excellent choice. That was wonderful.
Do you know, I just want to point out that when I was at uni, and I did do performing arts at uni, there used to be this newspaper in Ballarat called Ballarat News, and it had this section called Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down. And one of the techniques to get bums on seats was thumbs down to the lady who hit the back of my car But thumbs up to the cast of Macbeth performing at, because no one read the thumbs up. You only ever read the thumbs down. You know, they looked after me. They were able to call a tow truck. And then they gave me a free ticket to their show, which was awesome. But yeah, so a little part of me goes, I wonder if they use that review to get bums on seats.
I used to do movie reviews because it was a great way to see movies for free when you're a poor uni student.
Oh, brilliant.
So I got to see like the newest release every week and never paid a thing for it. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Totally never reviewed under my own name.
I did secret shopping for food places during uni. That's a life hack. That is a life hack.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Talara. I've been your keeper for this evening. You will see us again in April, where they will finally get to go to the theatre. So please come back, or Bonnie will cry if no one's here to watch her on
Will
stage.
cry. So I already bought tickets. I'm just letting everyone know.
Did you buy tickets for your rallies? Like,
No, I bought you lot tickets. So
Aw.
that's all right. I've used my
chosen
hard-earned
family.
money from, but that was part of my $20 wages this week.
but also expense that shit because expense account.
That's right. That's right. You know, this is a business
you.
thing. So we're going to get him to pay for it. What's his face from
Edgar's.
Bluestone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm onto that. That's awesome. Yep.
While you're working out these plans, we are going to raid the heavy metal game master.
Ooh.
Who? Oh, there's things popping up all over my screen. There's a thing already saying we're going to be raiding. Does that mean we have to wave now?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have to wave.
We just
Bye.
If you
wave.
haven't put in a application for Fuckbud Island, you should do so.
Yes.
Bye.
Join the fuckboys.
Smile and wave.
Can we stop now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We can.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay.
Oh, I see. Hey, there's